Okay. Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Guide to Amateur at-Home Voice Acting. So, as you can see, all of us are here. My name is Michaela. I am a director, writer, programmer, and producer, and I'm also a voice talent for Voiceiyuu. I've done a bunch of individual projects such as Seduce Me, and a bunch of others such as Galactic Conflict, and Samaritan Paradox, and yeah, that's my credentials. Hi everyone, I am Sheila M. Gagne. I am a voice actress / improviser. I've been with Voiceiyuu for almost a year now. I'm a part of a different projects, The Guardian's Wish, and a bunch of other projects coming up, and I'm so happy to be here.
Hi everyone, my name is Daviau. I'm a voice actor, writer, and sometimes producer. I have been in games such as The Guardian Spell along with the lovely Sheila and Gagne, and I've been doing the whole voiceover thing for about 5 years now.
Hi, I'm Nakashima. I'm a voice actor, game developer, and writer. I've been doing voice acting for about a year, doing video games, a lot of visual novels, audio dramas, and I'm also the general manager of Voiceiyuu.
Hello, I'm Jonah Scott. I am 20 years old. I am a stage, screen, and voice actor. I'm a singer as well and a sound engineer. I've been in a lot of visual novels and provided voices for many characters in audio plays and a bunch of indie games. So thank you very much.
My name is Christopher Escalante. I'm one of the main voice actors and music composers for Voiceiyuu. I've been doing screen and voiceover work for the past few years, as well as music scoring for film, television, indie games, online programs for about the past few years.
Hello, my name is James Brown. I am a voice actor.
He's not joking.
Not related, I swear. I've been doing voice acting for about 2 years. I will be with Voiceiyuu for a year really soon. I've been doing voice acting for audio plays, visual novels, and indie games for just as much as as long as I remember. And I also do graphic design, web art as well.
Alright, so, this is Voiceiyuu. We are the ones presenting this panel. All of the people on this panel are from Voiceiyuu. And you might be wondering, what is Voiceiyuu? Well, Voiceiyuu is a production company that does both in-house and talent.
We just do things. We do a lot of things.
We do voice casting for external projects. So things such as Kendo Crush, which some of you may have heard of, it's by Pixel Fade, featuring James, Chris, and myself. That was all cast and voiced by Voiceiyuu.
That is a dating sim visual novel.
Yes. And the Otome visual novel, Seduce Me, which is an in-house project, which means that they're all the assets, the writing, and the production is done in-house at Voiceiyuu. So we are both a casting company and a production company.
And that's us.
Focused around Voiceiyuu.
Voiceover versus voice acting. I remember when I first started, I decided I wanted to be a voice actor. I essentially thought that was
Closer.
We can't hear you. Give us a little of that sexy, low, gravelly voice.
When I decided I wanted to be a voice actor, I thought that voice acting and voiceover was generally the same thing. I didn't know any better. But as I, practiced and learned more about it, I got to see the differences. And of course, in both situations, you're going to be in front of a mic with the script, and you're going to be reading them. But it's going to be how you read them and the purpose of why you're reading them is what makes it different. Now, for voiceover, you watch television, you listen to the radio about commercials, selling products and services, and stuff like of that nature. That's generally what the purpose of voiceover is. I'll be reading a script. Essentially I'll be just reading the script to you and giving you information about the product or service I'm selling to you, or giving you just general information. When you do voice acting, it's more about creating a character, creating a story, and getting the audience to feel for the character in the story. So there's going to be more emotion in your speech when you're reading the voiceover script. Read the script, you're not just reading it, you're reading from it, and then you're taking it and creating something that feels natural, that's believable, so that the world, as I'm listening to the animation or video game, it feels real to me, and we're trying to bring that out as much as we possibly can. So that's the difference between the two.
And as James was probably saying, you also can do both. It's not like you have to be separated as either a voiceover talent or a voice actor. So you can do both.
Yeah, and Chicago is a fantastic place for voiceover, and it does have a huge commercial market. So you're not limited to anything.
Out of curiosity, how many people here are here to learn about voice acting from home or trying to do that on your own? Wow. Very good.
Yeah.
We hope to try and help you get started from your home, because at home.
To everyone else, you're about to go for a fun experience. So what is acting, truly? Jonah?
Well, I've been studying acting for about 14 years, and all of my instructors have told me that the exact same sentence, and acting is living as a blank, a person, a character, in a certain moment. And when you're acting, that's exactly what you're doing. You hear the phrase, what's my motivation? You get that cheesy phrase all the time, but to some effect that rings true. You need a motivation for the character. You need to figure out what you're living and how you're living it in that moment. From the director's point of view, because first of all, it's their project. And second of all, you need to take it in. And as an artist, you need to produce a product that you're proud of. And I believe that's what acting is.
For me, acting is telling a story. We are all storytellers, and I've heard this multiple times from growing up. We all have stories to share. And so as performers and as actors, we have to be able to tell the story, not only with our, pretty much with our voices, like as voice actors, but also with our bodies, with our intent, our soul, our being. And as cheesy as that sounds, it's very crucial in order to be able to tell that story and properly get across what we want to tell. And it's truly a fun experience just to be able to tell that type of story and be able to experience, tell someone that and be like, oh, okay, I never thought about it like that way, or ooh, that's an interesting story.
And while it is serious business and you do want to be able to act well, you also want to have fun. Something that has been said by Crispin Freeman, he's here as well, so he'll probably tell you the same thing. He also has a podcast series where when asked about acting, he says it's like playing pretend, but you get paid for it. So be sure you're having fun with it too.
To be perfectly honest, the reason I love voice acting and improvising so much is I don't have to memorize anything, because I have a terrible memory for memorization. And personally, I've always thought of acting as an escape from reality. To me, I have my normal everyday attitude, but with improvising and voice acting, I can become anyone that I want to be. I can become an honest person, taking an extension of myself and putting that into a character. It's a way to get all that energy out throughout the day. If I just want to be a chain smoker and talked about my husband, I can't do that on a normal daily basis, but some days I want to be a chain smoker, angry person. Don't we all have that in me? I mean, now you got the acting chops, but maybe you need, some equipment to get started in that home studio of yours. So, Michaela.
Yeah, talk about the home studio, right? Speaking of home studio, amateur voice acting is very simple, truly. A lot of people say, oh, you need like a director, you need to go to a studio, you need to do all this. No. You need a basic home studio in order to get started. And truly it is a microphone, which is the essential part, or else who are you going to talk to? Truly. How are you going to get your voice out there? You need a microphone. And then you need the software, which is a recording program, which you can capture your voice and be able to save it, send it off to people saying, hey, look at my voice, look at that. And truly, that's it. It's that simple. And a lot of people overstep that. It's like, oh no, there's more to it. No, there's not much more to it than that when you come to bare bones.
That's all you need to get started.
That's right.
So, let's get started, shall we? Microphones. Here we have two of our favorite microphones for getting started. They're most often cited as the most
versatile, affordable.
Yeah, basically. And so I personally have an AT2020, which is a great mic. Who else here has an AT2020?
That'd be me.
All of us are doing very well for ourselves with AT2020s. These things will cost you somewhere between $70 to $120, and that's really not that much if you think about it, considering studio-style mics can get upwards of thousands of dollars. So if you can invest $70 to $120, that's pretty great. The other one, also the AT2020 and the Blue Yeti both come in USB and XLR.
Very important.
But USB is great because you can just plug and play.
Like straight into your laptop.
So the other one is the Blue Yeti. And who here's the Blue Yeti?
I have a Blue Yeti.
They have Blue Yetis.
Yeah.
We're getting started already.
Yeah. Blue Yetis are also great for about the same price range.
And they're actually pretty common to find too. You can find them at most local electronics stores or on Amazon fairly easily.
A good water, or a good water. I'll get to that in a second. Hold up. A good website for anything audio is called sweetwater.com. It's one word, and it is a lot of where it's where a lot of studios get their equipment from, and it's not retail markup at all. It's bare bones from the warehouse. And you get everything raw in the box, fresh out of it, and it's very inexpensive.
And especially while searching online. While you're searching, you make sure you get something new. I know a lot of people might not have a whole lot of money, so you might be tempted to get something used. For electronics, it is not a good idea, especially high-quality electronics like this. You're not sure how well conditioned it's made. If you get it, can you even return it? All of us buy it new. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So, we did talk about going into the basics, but there are other things you can get. You're wondering, oh, in the studios they always have sound canceling pads, they've got all these fancy equipment, some other things to help get you going after you've gotten your mic and everything, is things to help the overall sound quality. We'll start from left to right. We do have this behind it, called a noise shield. It's basically so you can get rid of any type of echo you have in a room. As you can hear right now, there's echo everywhere. That goes around the mic, absorbs all of the sound so you don't get any echo in your recording. As well as the thing in the middle, which is a shock mount. If you're working off of a mic stand instead of a desk stand like this, or even if you have this, if there's any pounding, hit the mic stand, anything, you're gonna hear it in this because it's hard attached to it. If you get something like that, it keeps the balance away from the hardware, so there's hardly any pickup on contact. And another thing that really helps is what's called a pop filter. Any idea what that would do? It would get rid of any pops that you hear in the mic from T's, F's. In fact, I don't know if anyone else does. Most of us have a pop filter, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I have.
That's very important.
For example, I have a pop filter and a mic muff because other than voiceover, I also do a lot of beatboxing recording. So I need a lot of wind resistance when I'm going into that.
And since things can often get pricey, you can do a lot of DIY stuff, do it yourself. And to make a really easy pop filter, you can either get a coat hanger and take some old nylons, just take your mom's old pantyhose, stretch them over that, and it'll create a really nice filter. Or you can go to your local craft store, you can also use nylons, you stretch it over an embroidery ring, and that can hold really tight. You just attach some wire to it, and you can hold it right in front. For those of you who know Team 4 Star. Thank you, Jonah. Where's my brain? Lanny Pator from Team 4 Star, he does the DIY thing. So if you want to be like Lanny Pator and be cool like that, do DIY.
You can also find lots of tutorials on YouTube if you don't remember how. I built my own echo absorber thing just out of a couple paint grids, sound canceling foam, all this stuff you can get at like Lowe's or Home Depot. And it's really simple.
Alright, so
Did someone say water?
take a drink. Okay.
Take a drink.
So we don't get it.
else is on an 18-plus panel.
We had some fun making the PowerPoint, to say the least.
Yes, we did.
We're a serious business.
We're so professional.
Business cards, darn it.
We're taking this serious business.
Okay, so you got all your hardware. You're ready to go. You're ready to voice record. What program do you use? Well, you have a very, very huge choice. I'm an audio engineer, which means I get paid to take people's voices and sound effects and stuff and compile them into a project. I do Foley and record sound effects from my house. But in order to do that, you need a program. Audacity is 100% legal, free. So that means you can get it on the website for every single. You can get it for Linux, for God's sake, and it's very bare bones. You can do everything you want, but it requires a lot of math and a lot of numbers. There's no presets. So you have to figure everything out and go online and look up tutorials on YouTube. But it's free, so you take the good with the bad. The next thing we got for PC, and you can get it on Mac, I think, is Adobe Audition.
Yeah, you can.
And this is obviously the opposite of free. This program runs for about $600. But you can also get it online for not free. But,
what?
Yeah. And,
Or you can also go to your college campus and they can give you discounts.
that's what I did.
Student
I did that with
Student
Pro
discounts.
Tools.
This
Or
program
buy
is
it.
yeah.
Or find a used copy.
Yeah, you can get
Get an outdated Adobe Audition 2008.
Yeah, you can get and I know Audition has all of their products up to like CS3 for free. So you can go get Adobe Audition, it won't be up to date, but it'll be for free. And like they said, you can go to your college. I got mine for $100 through my college, and it's legal. So you can take that with you your entire life, and you don't have to do anything. But if you do pirate something, and you eventually start hitting it big and stuff like that, pay back your dues. Go out and buy them. Support the original software. The next thing we have for Mac is GarageBand, which is, as many Mac products know, very user-friendly. There's presets, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, a 12-year-old gets on it and makes, YouTube videos. So I guarantee that everybody in here can use GarageBand. The next one is Pro Tools. That is the industry standard for vocal and instrument recording. Everybody and their mom in the industry uses Pro Tools. So if you want to be on the other side of the microphone, engineering things, then you want to learn how to use Pro Tools. Again, this program runs for about $700 or $800. So if you don't want to drop the change for that, that's understandable. Would you say something?
Actually, first of all, if you're in college and you do have a music technology class, usually they'll work you into Pro Tools. I did that when I was in college.
Yes.
And the latest version of Pro Tools, actually, they've cut down a lot. I think standard for the newest version is $500. So once you have a student discount, it should go down to about $400 or $300.
And if you're already out of college and alumni, still check out the student store. I got mine, I think, for less than $200, and that was the newest Pro Tools. So utilize your education. You paid a lot for it, right?
Yeah. It won't leave you out to dry, I guarantee it.
And these are all proven because a lot of us use all these different programs. I work off of a Mac and use GarageBand and Logic. You guys work off of PCs. So.
Yeah, I use Audition for everything. I do a lot of audio plays, and I throw the audio play together in Audition in like 2 nights. It's easy to learn. There's tons of YouTube tutorials. All right, so if you decided to pick out a DAW, a digital audio workstation for yourself up there, you're ready to record. You got yourself recording, and now you need a few opportunities to get your voice out there, and we're going to talk about that next.
And I'm going to tell you about those opportunities. We all know about YouTube, we all know about SoundCloud and all the benefits of it, especially when you get your demo ready. You just want to utilize every bit of social media that you can. Voice Realm is something that I prefer over something like Voices and Voices 123 because it's not just you can get in once you got a credit card. You have to have your demo ready, and this is when you're feeling like you're ready for the next step. You definitely want to get some auditions and definitely have a set rate. And if you're like me, you get scared making negotiations because you can get scared saying, how much am I worth? This place has a set rate, and when you get approved for it, you get a lot of great auditions, make a lot of great contacts with clients. So that's a great place you can go to if you're really not into the whole pay-for-play kind of websites. And there's also Voice Acting Alliance forums, and if you're interested, on our YouTube channel, we have a video that details in detail how to do the forums and audition for anything through VAA, Voice Acting Alliance.
in the style of a visual novel, if you're a fan.
Yeah.
In fact, some of us voiced that one, didn't we?
Only you.
It was a long
The others aren't here.
Wait, I'm not the girl. Amanda Lee. For those of you who know Amanda Lee was the voice of the girl in the video.
And Alejandro Saab, who is not here, sadly.
Alejandro Saab.
Oh darn, Alejandro Saab.
And there's also VoiceOver Club, which pretty much works the same way as VAA, Voice Acting Alliance. So whenever you go audition, check both sites. Sometimes you'll see repeats of the same auditions, but it's really good this way because maybe one goes there and one goes to the other.
And if I may,
Yes.
these are really good websites for getting started with paying work, but if you do want to start with smaller things, I know a lot of people, most of us actually as well, do a lot of fan dubs. You might want to make an abridged series, an independent Flash-based video game. There are plenty of projects like this on those websites. A lot of them aren't paying, but they're good for practice and experience.
And then there's us. We're an opportunity, right?
Right. Let's see, how many visual novels are we working on?
Oh, we're working on a lot. Okay,
So there's lots of opportunities.
There's lots. There's at least from the top of my head, there's like 6, and that's also including Seduce Me. So yeah, this with Voiceiyuu, if you want to explain Voiceiyuu, or do you just?
I can do that. Yeah. So, when you feel like you've got enough experience, Voiceiyuu is a sort of a conglomerate of people who want to start taking it to the next level, who want to start getting more professional style work. So there are lots of groups like this, but for us, it's you audition in, and then we bring projects to you. We introduce auditions, and from there you can start getting commercial work.
And not just voice acting. We have writers, artists, game programmers, musicians, singers, everything.
Mm-hmm. This would be great. Yeah. So assessing credibility. It's like there's no notes here. Assessing credibility. Like while we're all like amateur voice actors, we still want to be professional as possible because we want to make that next step of showing the director, hey, look at me. I'm actually someone you are worth talking to. And so I'm as a director, I've gotten so many emails like, oh hi, how are you doing? I'm so glad to see you. Oh my god, I love this project. Oh my god, you need to keep in contact with me. This is my Facebook, this is my Skype.
I don't think I'm really that good, but I'm gonna give it a try.
Don't say that. Don't say
OMG, LOL hearts. No. For less than 3. But for any sort of auditions or any sort of project where you want to be as professional as possible. And what does this mean? With auditions, when you send in an audition, you want to slate your name, because usually in the directions on the forms, or in any directions that are given to you, you'll see the file type that you have to give in, how many takes you should probably give in, everything that's under the sun about the type of audition you should be giving in. You still want to slate your name because the directors, that's what they're going to hear. Such as, for example, Michaela Laws auditioning for Sheila Gagne.
This is Sheila Gagne auditioning for Michaela Laws.
That way they so hold on, how many auditions was that Sheila? Yeah, she did a really good Michaela. Oh my gosh. She did a really good Michaela. So, and then also writing an audition email. Again, like the example of the hearts and the kissy faces and the X's and no. You want to try to write a professional audition email that's straight to the point, gets what you want across, and shows that, hey, I know what I'm doing. Here is my work. I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you. Now with projects, you want to know the type of projects versus appearances. Like, I know a lot of us have been in projects that have shut down or that are not as good as they see. You want to kind of look for, especially when you're looking for just projects to do, you want to see what they have to offer. Like, for example, Seduce Me had pictures, we had what our workload was, how much pay there was going to be, and pretty much set everything in stone.
Art is huge. If I ever see art in an audition, sheet, a casting call, I'm immediately interested, because that means that they've got their work together and it's not just words on a page. There's actually some progress going on behind the scenes.
I 100% agree, especially when I'm on Voice Acting Alliance and I love to go to the original artwork section for auditions. If you're doing an animation, I need something like a concept art, a portfolio from past work, anything, and then you have my attention. If you're not even in the concept art stage, I have a feeling it's not going to go much farther, because voice acting should be towards the last thing you get together.
If not the last thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you gotta wonder how you want to be credited. Like for fan dubs, Aliases are your best friend. Some of you may know me as the Bunny of Evil. That is my alias, because that is for me. That is me doing like Vocaloid and doing like fandubs such as like the ones that we do sometimes, Spoil the Magi. But that's under my That's under my alias, the Bunny of Evil. For my professional work, I prefer to use Michaela Amanda Laws. And so yeah, we want to try to differentiate that.
The reason behind that is because animation companies and any company in general that wants to create a product hates having products taken from them and used without their permission. A fandub is the quintessential, example of someone taking someone else's art and using it in a manner that's not like permissionized. Anyway, if you want to go under an alias, you want to make sure no one knows who you are under the alias, because if eventually you do get big, and somebody starts Googling your name per se, and they see your name on a fandub, that company's gonna drop you like a wet sock, because they don't want anybody affiliated with illegal activities. So that's the reason behind it.
Yeah, don't put it on your resume.
No.
Even a lot of professional voice actors I know have gone under different names for different types of work. I'm friends with a few voice actors like Delco Bow and Lisa Wilkerson who have used different names in the past.
Kyle Everett uses a different name as well.
Dan Green.
And so what we have right here, we were talking about emails and all that stuff. This is a sample email. That way you all have that little bit of a step ahead versus everyone else who's trying to research professional emails. This is kind of your sample. If you want to take a picture, go for it. But we're going to, me and Sheila are kind of bounce back and forth, because this is Sheila's email.
This is a real email that I sent, that I booked, and it was for a fandub-like project. So this is something that you guys will probably be doing in the near future. So I'm going to read it out loud, take a picture, but get an understanding of why it's quick, it's simple, and it gets to the point, and then Michaela's going to give a little details based on those lines. Attached are my auditions for the Madoka Magica full series one-shot.
That is the introduction. That is basically what you are doing and why you are sending this email.
I included 3 to 5 takes for each character to give different reads for options. I did even more for Hamada because she's just so much fun to play with. And I do that because I'm adding just a little bit of personality. You don't want to get too chatty, but you can show that you're a fun, funny, likable person to work with. A little joke here and there is okay, but keep it small. Also attached is my talent resume for your consideration, because you should get a resume ready for them if they want to see other stuff that you've done. I am very open to recording lines for any other character you may have in mind for my voice. If one or more auditions are chosen, I would like to be credited as Sheila M. Gagne, please.
That is the explanation of your files, because as you can see on the bottom, it's just a conglomeration of files. And as a director, I want to know what the heck I'm downloading and what the heck I'm listening to. Because if suddenly I hear 3 takes of the same line and you don't explain it to me, I'm like, wait, why did you take 3 takes of the same line? I don't want to hear you 3 times. I want to hear you once. But if she sent back that email like, oh, okay, takes. And then you want to end with a thank you for the opportunity.
And I look forward to your reply. Best, Sheila.
And then end with your name, because that's what you're remembered as.
Booked, make it rain.
Make sure sometimes when you go through audition pages and casting calls and stuff like that, especially when you're doing at-home like stuff off the internet from VAA, Voice Acting Alliance, or anything, make sure that you read the audition directions to the T, and make sure you complete everything they ask for, because if you put an underscore in the wrong place, or you put a number where it's not supposed to go, they're going to throw your audition in the trash regardless of how good you are, because you can't follow directions. It sounds harsh. I think it sounds harsh, but it's true.
The thing is, as a director's point of view with that, it's organization, because when I get all of these files, with most directors, we listen to everything at once, and there's organized by character, by name, and by person, and if you put one little dash out of line, I can't find where you are. And suddenly I have one audition with another, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, if you want to go back one more slide, you'll see on the attachments, they're all named a very particular way. Sometimes it'll say, when you send it in, I want you to name it as character name, dash, your name, dash. That way they can easily find it, know who it is, make it as easy as possible, because directors have to go through so many files.
I mean, think of it like this. Make it their job so much easier that they just have to pick you you because no one else made that effort. Don't let anything keep you from getting the role. Let your talent be the reason you get it. Don't let inconsistencies and disorganization be the reason you didn't get it.
And so now it's Q&A time. That means ask us questions.
Well, I'm going to take over the mic. All right. Let me see them hands.
I see a question over there.
Yeah, so I use a blue snowball currency.
Good. Yes.
Oh, I get a mic?
No, I'm just going to stand out here.
You're standing there, look pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use a blue snowball. That's kind of the next step down. Is there a, like, when you're doing the amateur level stuff, do you need like studio quality? Is there an appreciable difference between that lower tier of mic as long as you've got a good setup?
Okay, so you're asking whether or not the price of the mic and the quality of the mic matters in the end?
Well, if you've got, like, say you set up a recording booth, type of foam and all that in your closet, you've got the recorder booth and all that, does the mic matter quite as much in that?
All right, as the audio engineer, I'm going to take this one.
Okay, cool. Bye.
Honestly, if you know how to use your DAW, your digital audio workstation, your Audacity, your Audition, the quality of the mic honestly doesn't matter. Because if you record one of the crappiest recordings you've ever done, if you go into the editor, you can noise removal it, you can EQ it, but for auditions, don't screw with it too much because they want your natural voice. But it really doesn't matter if you know how to use your DAW.
Well, to a point, because you don't want to go in with just a karaoke system mic.
That's true. You need to have some standards.
And the thing is, with most directors, they'll know, like, most directors know kind of the qualities of each mic. Like, I know the difference between a Yeti and a AT2020, and I can hear it. And so, but if you know how to temper with your mic properly, and to where you could, one, trick me, and to make it sound like you know you're a professional, then it doesn't matter what mic you use.
All right, next question. Yeah, you.
Me?
Yes.
So, when I for the email, there are a few questions on it.
Okay.
One, for email, you want to be quick, brief, right? And
Oh yeah.
Only a few files. Yeah, like how many files should you have?
Okay.
I can take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Usually a director will tell you how many files you have, and it also depends on how many characters you audition for. Such as if there are like 5 female roles and 3 guy roles. If Jonah were to audition for me, and he wants to do all 3 guy roles, and I have it specifically where you are sending me 3 files of all the lines, no matter how many takes you have, but you are sending me 3 files. And they are named specifically, and then Jonah sends me only 3 files. I don't want to see 6, I don't want to see 1, unless you're only auditioning for 1 character. It depends on how many characters you audition for and what I've set and what the limits I've set for you. So yeah.
Make sure you're paying attention to the audition description, because they will say you can send 1 or 2 or 3 files, but never more than they're asking for.
Yeah. And don't forget to send your email without the file, because I've done that a couple times.
Send your files. Attach your files.
Attach your file first.
Yes.
Attach them first.
thing. Okay. Next question. Jumpsuit. Yes.
This is more of like a personal preference. What are your guys' opinions on voice actors who have mainly one character voice that gets them a lot of work? Do you think that's more of a
cool
thing, or is it kind of frowned upon in the voice acting?
For we'll repeat the question. So
She wants to know if it's cool that people have character voices and it's just one character voice, that they're one-trick pony.
Totally.
Professionals.
Like, here's the thing. We're not trying to shut down anyone who has like a one type of voice. Like, if suddenly all of a sudden all I can do is this voice whenever I want, and this is my thing, people know me for this type of voice. And that's your thing. You can audition for as many projects as you want with that type of voice. And the thing is, you want to try to expand your range, because expanding your range gives you a lot more jobs. It opens a lot more windows and a lot more doors. But if you have that one thing you can pull out of your hat, and so it's like, if the director comes to you like, hey, talk for me. Hey, I can talk just like this. Hey, what's up, buddy? You can literally just pull that right out of your head. It's not frowned upon, but nonetheless, you don't want to stick to just one. You want to try to expand your range, but it's not unnecessary. You must do like 3 type of voices and 10 more on top of that. No.
Yeah, okay, when I think about that, yeah, to expand on what Michaela said, yeah, you can have one voice, but it's definitely important to differentiate the characters. You never want to bring another character into, like, you never want to combine two.
Yeah.
You never, no. You can use the same voice, just not the same character, and that's what I have to say. Sheila, me.
If any of you went to my voice acting panel yesterday, you noticed I mentioned that your natural speaking voice is going to be your biggest moneymaker as a voice actor. So if you have a character voice that gets you a lot of work, I say more power to you. You know, don't let that limit you from expanding and becoming a better actor yourself. But if you happen to get a lot of work for a certain kind of voice, like a lot of my stuff is me just doing my normal speaking voice. If your character is that good that it's only getting those kind of work, great, but don't let it stop you from expanding.
Regardless, if you want to go into character or commercial voiceover work, you do want to, like she said, get your natural speaking voice to where it is. A lot of us do commercial work, and it is just your regular voice narration work. And then you do have the character side, and just going along with that question for the one character thing. No one hates Gilbert Gottfried because he's Iago. That's his natural voice. Yeah. And he gets work. There's no hating on that. There's no hating on people like Dan Castellaneta, who's in The Simpsons and voices half the cast. So there's plenty of work on either side, as long as you train it to be good.
I mean, think of it like this. You just said Simpsons. Lisa Simpson's voice actress. That's the only voice she does. That's her one big character voice. And look at that. Use that as inspiration. Yeah.
Piggyback off of what they said, it's true. Like, acting-wise, you can make your natural speaking voice sound completely different based on the emotion you put behind it. You don't have to just go up here and be completely nasally, or you don't have to go down here like you're supposed to do. If you just talk normally and tone it down, you can tell I'm really sad. But if I start talking really fast, you can tell I'm really excited. It's natural speaking voice, emotion. You don't have to change your voice to be a voice actor. All of it isn't, cartoons. A lot of the stuff you do is very emotive. So,
I'm not sure I have much more to say than these guys have already said. They basically said everything. It's just, if you have that one voice that people like and you get jobs with it, good for you. It's what you do, but having a larger range does allow you to go for more stuff.
And this also goes for when you are working on your demo, to concentrate on your greatest strengths first. And then if you want to change if you really want to go change your tone of your voice, go a little bit up, a little bit down. But you always want to put your best foot forward. If you're not really good with the high-pitched stuff, put that aside for now, practice that, and then come back to it later.
all right, cool. Oh, you say something else?
Well, just one other quick thing, and as for Voiceiyuu, we do have a lot of both kinds of work in that as well. There are many gigs that we do that a lot of us have used our natural speaking voice for, and there are many where we use character voices for. I know James in Seduce Me uses a character voice. In Seduce Me, I use pretty much my normal voice, while in a different project we had...
Pizz'Amore?
Pizz'Amore.
Yeah.
He used a very different voice. That's another visual novel, hopefully releasing in the next week or so.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Whoa.
Let's go over here. You right there. Yes, next thing. Yeah, that one. Yeah, look at me. Go. All right.
As far as the quality of mic goes, because you're talking about how that doesn't matter so much. I've been looking to upgrade, and all I've got to record right now is an Audio-Technica shotgun mic, like $45.
Okay.
And I've noticed that no matter how far or close I am to the mic, there's always a point if my voice gets too loud, like if I were speaking to you into it like I am now, it just spikes and like the audio gets all messed up.
Okay.
Is that something that you
I think I might take that. Is your gain really high up? The gain is like usually a little button. I think because a shotgun is a great mic. I think that's especially it's used a lot for men. I know shotguns are preferably used by male voice actors. Maybe check the gain on wherever that is on a shotgun mic and lower it. It might be too sensitive.
Depending on what program you have, you can easily adjust the sensitivity of the mic. And I don't know. And another thing that was covered, if you were in Sheila's panel yesterday, they did talk about being able to train your own voice so you don't blast the microphone.
Yes. Also, you might want to check your connections, because sometimes a fuzzy connection can result in extreme peaking. So yeah. Anybody else? You, right there.
Would an abridged series be considered one of those illegal works that I should not place on a resume?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. Well, think about this. How many times has Lil Karibo had his stuff banned, taken down? They don't like that.
I thought it was taken down by internet trolls.
No, it was taken down by Sony because Sony, they are the copyright holders, and basically they are like, you are using someone else's work to make yourself good? No.
And while it is fun, certainly do it. It's fun, good for practice.
Good for making a fan base.
Don't put that forward as, look at what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep doing it. I'm not going to tell you to stop doing it because they're hilarious. But, like, don't put your name on it. Put your name on the project. Again, put your name on the project.
Aliases are your best friend.
Oh, wait, but most people, with a simple Google search, you can find out Little Karibo's real name.
Yeah.
Well, right, but honestly, who has the...
Take the time to utilize your social media presence. I've gone to extreme lengths to make sure that when people Google me, certain things come up first. So if you're serious, take the extra time to make sure that when people find you, you put certain things a lot easier to find than others.
And also, like, if your name is associated with like a fandom, like for example, I have some where I actually am credited as Michaela under a fandom. You'd want to try to put your original stuff out first and like, hey, look at this original stuff. It's kind of scare them away from the fan stuff.
Deal, it's just frowned upon.
Yeah, it's frowned. It's like,
So we're just trying to tell you what is the best for you. Any other questions? You.
I imagine that most of you have gone to some sort of voice acting classes, something like that. I know it's an option that you can do. Is that at all useful? Would it help amateurs?
I got you, man. I got you. Are you from around this area?
Sorry?
Are you from around this area, from Illinois? Excellent. There's a lot of great classes. Go to Acting Studio Chicago. They have voice acting classes. You're never done being a student. Even professionals still have a coach. They sometimes perfect themselves. I just took a dialects class just because I feel insecure about my dialects and I want to get better. I've got paying work, but I want to improve. Don't let that stop you. There's improv classes are fantastic for voice actors because you get stuff maybe a few minutes before an audition. All that great stuff out of the Second City. And I know Acting Studio Chicago is pretty darn expensive, but it's a very small class, a lot of hands-on, and sometimes you get to go to like actual professional studios too. Great.
And also, people may think that stage acting versus voice acting is really different. No. You use the things from the stage to the thingy. Like, me and Jonah are stage actors. And Helen's a stage actor too. We are stage actors and we're voice actors. I mean, like, that's our preferred, but we use our talents and we use the skills that we've learned from stage to use to voice acting. And just pick and choose.
A lot of it connects. And one other thing, a lot of the time you don't have to be in the area with a voiceover coach. My voiceover coach is Kathy Westluck. You guys will probably know her as Near from Death Note or Spike from My Little Pony, represent. But anyway, she's in Vancouver, and I'm not. So, I don't want you to find me. Kids had to it, but anyway, seriousness. You don't always have to be in the area. A lot of coaches will coach via Skype. You just get on camera
I
and...
get coached by Kyle Amber.
Yeah.
A month.
We took a class at Bang Zoom.
Yeah. And acting
so-
classes too. Just regular acting classes are fantastic.
Everything's so beneficial.
We're professional.
Yes, we are.
All right, we got like a 5-minute warning, so we're gonna take any more questions.
I think that's
we
it.
gotta wrap it.
We got a 5-minute warning, 4 minutes
You
ago.
can come up afterwards and talk to us until your heart's content. Honestly, we love you all very dearly. I'll answer any questions. We have business cards up here. Oh, yes, okay. The Seduce Me Project meetup. Convention Center, 2nd floor lobby. That's which one? This one?
It's the one with the chandeliers and the pillars in the front, the one with the fancy and the chandeliers and the lights.
Stuff.
The one with
So
the stuff.
that's what time is it now? Everybody got time?
About 5 till.
5 till. Okay, so we got a little bit until that. If you want to come up and talk to us,
Take a business card.
take a business card.
Learn
networking.
more about Voiceiyuu, just, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be up here to talk. We'll be up here.
Thank you.
Father trump card, everybody back.
Hi, Daddy.
You did good.
Thank you. I told you. And actually, we were in the income workshop 2 weeks from now.
Okay. Yeah, check out all of our work. We also have lots of projects like voice. I do have
Right?
Yeah.
And we usually have links on our YouTube channels or anywhere that leads.
Okay.
Okay.
And you guys.
Hi.
On Tumblr, on Ruley Art.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're an awesome John. Okay. Can I get your autograph? When I talk on camera, my voice starts.
Should I make on one side so it doesn't wash out?
Yeah, sure. Who should I make it out to?
Do you mean different from an actual recording? Are you talking about a recording from the mic to a recording?
S-H-A-N-N-O-N.
Yeah, I love all your stuff on Tumblr.
We just got a warning, so everyone needs to file out. We'll be glad to talk to you guys out in the lobby.
Grab a card before you go, but you have to go.
Yeah, grab a card, but we'll meet you guys out in the lobby.
To make things easier, if you want to come up and grab something, go around here, line up, get out.
You gotta go back to your room, but you gotta get out. Thank you so much. Wait, you did not say it right. No.
All right. Hey, that was success, eh?
That was great. You guys were awesome. Oh, thank you.
Feel free to grab the card, buttons.
I'm bringing.
You in the base. This is my TV5. Thank you.
I went to your
Actually, I just got this.
Finally, just pull them out. Cosplay right there.
Arm and camera. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
My arm is very important.
Good. Well done. We've done it. Awesome. Done it.
I don't want to show like
I got two interfaces, but I had the problem happen. Where are the other two links and two different interfaces? So I'm trying to figure out if there's something on there.
We got to get out of here.
I'm gonna
Keep talking about I recommend calling that.
They all do the same thing, just name them different places.
Hi. How are you? Good. Enjoying the con? Yeah. Do you want to talk to any of them? They're going to be out there. Yeah. And come to the Seduce Me meetup.
Yeah, you just talk.
Yes.
Guys, All right, 1, 2, 3.
Even I wouldn't miss that.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day, okay?
Thank you very much. Look up, like, your environment or the.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah, artist right there.
Hi.
Camille, Ruley.
Thank you.
Hang on. Let me make it better.
All right, guys, we gotta get our butts down here.
All right.
Take a few.
Oh yeah, I can have someone talk to you. I don't know what I'm talking in the mic.
Please stop talking. My friend James Frickle, who's one of my coaches. All right. He's a graphic designer, and he hooked me. We actually got these guys. We got it. So
was that good or was that good?
That was amazing.
What did you think?
It was amazing. Like I only heard the door open once. Like usually a lot of people leave during panels. Like only once.